Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for joining me for this one because today we are going to be upgrading this tremolo to something a little bit more high quality. This one isn't bad, not at all. It's actually a really good tremolo for something that actually comes in a kit. But at the end of the day, it's still got a zinc block and it's probably all made out of zinc. So today, we're installing this. This is a 6-screw locking tremolo from Guyker. Yes, you heard that right. 6-screw locking tremolo. So it's a drop-in, right? More or less, it should be just a drop-in, put in all the 6 screws, and we're done. The difference is these guys right here. These 6 little black screws lock the strings in place. So, Floyd Rose anybody? This should be cool. Let's get started. So the first thing we got to do is we have to take these off, and we would normally be removing the claw to change it for this one, which is a really nice one. It's brass, it's got this adjustment screw here, and well, I'm going to hold on to this and install it later. So this is going to go in a later date. So the first thing we're going to do now is we're actually going to pull these screws out a little bit to loosen these up so that we can get this off a little bit easier. Okay. Next, with that out of the way, we take care of these screws. Okay, so here's the old one. It's actually a pretty good bridge. It's not as cheaply made as a lot of the other ones that are similar to this. As far as zinc block and all that, it's actually, when you compare it to the rest of what you see usually, it's a lot better. So I want to hold on to this for the future. We'll leave that on for now. Okay. Looks like I may have to do some work in here. I may have to clean this up with the router. Yeah, those screw holes, I don't know if you can see that. Those screw holes don't quite line up. And this is one place where you need that to be right. You can't just force screws in there and make things work like that. So a little bit of room would be a big help right here. So I'm going to pause this video here and set this up to be trimmed away with a router. Hold on. Okay, we've got the Dremel. Got to get some tape, and we're going to cut this much away. I do have a feeling I'm going to have to cut away some more inside here, but we're gonna see. Okay, I've set up my tape and I've even painted a little bit right here. There seems to be a nice lip here. I'm going to try and take all that away without doing too much else, but I am going to have to try and fix those edges as I go, and I'm doing it with limited elbow room because I have 3 cameras going right now. So let's see how well this goes. Well, for what it is, that looks pretty good. Let's see if it lets us line up our bridge. Okay. Now I can line up the screws perfectly. And once I have them in, we'll know if I'll be able to pivot the tremolo. And I don't have much travel. Because I got no travel with the block, I have to cut a whole bunch of this out so I can make enough room for it. So I'm going to have to get some more stuff for my Dremel and figure out what the best way to do this is. But that's not the tremolo's fault. The tremolo is the way it's supposed to be. This guitar cavity was cut for a smaller block. It was cut with a tremolo block like this in mind. So we're going to have to make some adjustments. It's a pretty common thing, so it's not worth getting upset about. Let's at least get it set up. Red is stiffer, it seems, so I'm going to go with the black ones. Put some red ones in there. And those bend a little harder than the black ones. Okay, I'm back. And while I was gone, I took care of a few things. First, I polished the frets. Then I cleaned the fretboard. Then I moisturized the fretboard because this thing was sitting in the warehouse for a while. Then I got to the setup and I learned a few things about this tremolo. The bottom line is, it's awesome. It really is. It is an easy way for you to turn a classic Strat guitar with a questionable tremolo. I mean, let's be honest, they're never the best as far as tuning stability goes. And you could turn it on its head with this tremolo, because with this one, now, if you add a decent set of tuners, there's almost no difference between what the tuning stability of this guitar and the Floyd Rose. So it's almost a no-brainer at this point. And the tuning, the locking aspect of it on its own is really easy to get a handle on. I mean, it's just a little screw that with the wide head that holds down each string. That's it, right? So there's no extra hardware. There's no major components like on a Floyd Rose with like 82,000 different parts, right? So it's almost as easy to install as the tremolo that went in there in the first place. The only adjustments I had to make were, as you saw, I had to take the lip off of the face of the guitar so that I could push the tremolo back just about maybe a millimeter or so that I could line the screws up properly so that the tremolo would bend properly. And once I did that, set up the guitar, I was able to do some nice dive bombs. Not really, really deep ones though, because the block is wider than the original one, so it does get in the way of that a little bit. But I'm not a dive bomb guy, and I don't use it a lot, so it really wasn't a problem for me, you know, and I'm okay with it overall for now. I'm sure that it's going to start bothering me after a little while, and I'll get to making the video for that, but for now, I'm happy with it. But you should know that you might have to consider doing that as well when you pick this up. But if you're asking me, should you pick it up? Is the work worth it? Absolutely. This is a lot easier than having to go from this kind of bridge to a Floyd Rose. And it allows you to take a guitar that couldn't have that kind of tuning stability and give it to it, right? Because with the combination of this and a set of decent locking tuners, or even just a set of good tuners, it'll take away all of that tuning instability that is inherent in the classic Stratocaster design. So if you're asking me if you should pick one of these up, absolutely. If you're considering upgrading a tremolo to something that's of a high quality like this, just spend the bucks on this. It's right in that same ballpark price-wise. This is like $120 in this color, maybe even less. I think it might even be $100 or less right now on sale. So it's going to be right in that ballpark with good, solid bridges, tremolo bridges like this with a good brass block. Okay, so there's no reason you shouldn't do the sideways upgrade, let's call it, because it's not costing you anything else, right? If you like this kind of content, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It really does help us out. And maybe you should subscribe to RJ's Cave if you want to see more content like this. And while I'm asking you that, what do you think about me doing a review of this tremolo? I've got another one coming because I've got a build going on for the RJ's Cave 10,000 subscriber and 1 millionth view giveaway. You're not going to want to miss out on that, okay? And if you'd like to help us do things like this, you can do that by buying some merch like this Ice Ice Baby t-shirt or RJ's Cave cap. I am a seller of official Tees Guitars merch if you like Tees Guitars as well. And of course, you can also support those who support RJ's Cave. There are links in the description below and discount codes for Guyker.com, Guitar Tricks, and others. Okay, so by all means, check those out as well. Okay, you've been awesome. I've been RJ. That's going to do it for this one. Take it easy.